Can you guys guess what my daughter is in the nativity play?
Is she Mary?
No, unfortunately
not. Is she a star? I was a star once.
Oh, that's good to know.
Mm.
Alana, what were you in the nativity play?
I went to a public school in Ontario, and nativity plays were a big no-no.
Same in America, but we did them at church. But yeah, we don't do it in public school at all in North America. Anyway, she's a donkey.
That's pretty cool, though.
How do you explain to, like, this cute little 5-year-old as to why she's not, like, Mary or a star or an angel? She was like, it was, 7:15 this morning, and she was chewing my ear off about it. Not happy. Because, like, her friends, like, Rosie's a star. I don't want to be a donkey. And I was like, yeah, but, like, the donkeys are such a necessity. Like,
she could be a sassy donkey.
Yeah,
that, like,
honestly.
Kicks people and does that weird honking at inappropriate times.
Yes, exactly. We've got, like, the best, because you have to provide the costume. And I'm sure some people made their costume, but we full on just ordered it from Argos, and it's amazing. I'll have to show you guys a picture.
Okay, hold on. You can order a donkey costume from Argos?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
I think that's such a swizz that you have to, like, order your own costume as well. Because when I was at primary school, which was incidentally the same primary school which your daughter goes to, they had us, like, a rancid box out the back, and you used to have to, like, fish costumes out of it.
No, you
so,
provide
like,
your
things
own
have
costume.
upgraded.
Yeah. So the thing is, okay, so this was troubling me, right? So I managed to come across this article online. It's from The Independent, and it's entitled, "Here's What Your School Nativity Character Says About You."
Oh my God.
So, Joseph, all right, always does his homework, gets at least 9 out of 10, definitely going to be perfect. Also quiet, but somehow annoying. We'll grow up to found an app, and we'll also make him a millionaire. Fair. All right, Mary. Louder than average voice for a 5-year-old. Not adverse to holding hands with boys. And parents likely to contribute to school funds in a significant way.
That's how you get Mary.
That's how you get Mary.
That's how you get that premium nativity spot.
Yes. Okay, so the narrator is the one who organizes all social engagements, loves the sound of their own voice, ends up doing everything because they don't trust anyone else to do it right. Bossy AF. I was a narrator, by the way. Which, I gotta be honest, is pretty spot on. Shepherds. Okay. Absolute lad. Mad for the bants. Sometimes a bit naughty, but really just
for the bants.
Really,
some grown man typed that out.
I know. Sometimes a bit naughty, but really just a cry for attention. Pretends not to enjoy wearing a tea towel on the head. Secretly loves it. Angel. Craves attention. Constantly disappointed. Jealous of other people's success. Rebellious in the face of obscurity. Capable of entertaining themselves for hours with a piece of tinsel that fell off the halo. And it brings me to the donkey. Cheeky. True. Can be a bit of an ass sometimes. True. Thinks they're too cool to take the play seriously, but secretly loves being an important part of the story. Not sure, because she's not really convinced the donkey's very important. We're working on that. And then finally, it brings me to the star. Thinks they got the role because of their star quality. Actually, just because they're too nervous to speak in front of mean parents. Team player.
Probably true.
Yeah.
Also not a team player, though.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, obviously, you guys have all seen Love Actually.
Mm-hmm.
And you know the part. No. The only one they added in there was First Lobster.
No, have you not seen it?
Wait, what? Oh, no. Oh, no.
No. But please carry on. Just pretend, yes.
Can I just put a little marker there in that conversation, and we'll come back to that?
Put a pin in that. We'll come back to it later.
We'll come back to it. First Lobster is very proud of their role, thinks that their primary role gives them an authority over all other lobsters present at the birth of Jesus. Adult life likely to be plagued by the stark realization that their casting was a matter of pragmatism rather than talent, and they now have a serious seafood complex. So, guys, we just, let me know what nativity character you were.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to Murder Friends, the podcast where three friends from three different countries talk about murder. My name's Alana, and I'm Canadian.
I'm Anna, and I'm American.
My name's Hannah, and I'm British.
So sit back and relax. You are among friends, and let's talk murder.
This week's episode is a little bit different from our usual format. We're going to do a recap of 2019, the best podcasts, documentaries, films, books, and also the best things that have happened about our lives in 2019.
We were just saying before, the podcast is only really launched in September. Was it early September, mid-September? I don't even remember anymore.
August? Was it August?
Beginning of September, I thought it was.
Beginning of September 1st even, or something like that.
4th, maybe. One of those days. We should write that down.
Yeah, we should.
What was our launch day?
We're so good. I remember we were all away on holiday when we launched.
We were, yeah.
We were solidly away for about 6 weeks, but like
consecutively.
consecutively.
Consecutively booked holidays one after each other, didn't we? Such good timing.
But there's a lot of stuff that we've either done or talked about or seen or whatever that we haven't actually covered in the podcast because, I mean, it was halfway through the year at that point.
True. So what do you guys, first of all, what are your highlights of this year? Personally or professionally? I don't know. Non-murder related highlights of the year.
Professionally. Oh, that's cute.
Well, Hannah got a degree. Hello.
I did. I graduated, finally. I did a degree with the OU, and I'd been studying it. So it's like a full degree, but I did it part-time. It took me 6 years to complete. There's 60 credits a year for 6 years. I was so tired by the end of it.
Jesus.
I was tired for you. Wow. It was amazing. I mean, I think I would have quit.
I think you caught me in like the last like manic throes of it. Like as our friendship kind of progressed, the last like 2 years of me absolutely tearing my hair out. So I'm sorry you had to watch that.
You did well.
But, yeah.
And congrats. Yeah. What was your degree in for everyone else?
Criminology with psychology.
Nice.
Yeah.
Damn. So you're like the actual like professional amongst us.
I know.
Psychological studies, I think it was. Actually, learned some really cool stuff. And some of it was really hard work and just tiring because like I work full time as well and I commute. And that's it, like already a full time kind of waste on your time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm just glad it's over.
That's great.
And it was really strange. It was just really strange in October to like not start another degree module.
Yeah, like what do you do with all this time?
Yeah, I was just like, I need to find a hobby. It was just so weird.
Or you could just relax.
No.
Do what?
I know. Shocking. Just
Excuse
like watch
me?
some Netflix and, you know.
I thought, yeah, just watch some Netflix, launch a podcast with you guys. So
There we go. Exactly. I guess for me, I got married this year, which
hey.
I told you guys all. You were there. Yeah, that was like a big, my partner and I were together for quite a long time. So it was about time, really.
Yeah. I love the way you did it.
Thanks.
Yeah.
It was perfect for us. And it was like, just the way we wanted it. So that was good. So I think that was obviously probably my personal highlight this year.
God, now I have to follow. A, I got a degree, and B, I got married. Well, more recently, I guess, because I do YouTube-y stuff on the side, I finally got to a point where I can't necessarily live off of that income, but I pretty much could, which I never thought I'd get to that point.
That's amazing.
Which is like, I mean, it's YouTube and stuff. It's I don't know, but yeah, we just had 50,000 subscribers, which
That is amazing.
That's so cool. That's such an achievement.
it doesn't like feel like anything because I'm just like anonymously uploading videos, and then I just like leave them. I don't know. It's just strange. It's cool. It's really cool. I'm proud of it, but it's also a bit strange.
It must be.
Yeah.
Because
It sounds like a lot of hard work as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't realize how time consuming it is, but I think actually in 2020, my goal is to edit less, which sounds bad, but I spent so much time rewatching and editing, and it's just it's too much time sinking into like one particular thing. So I'm gonna set myself a goal that I'm only allowed to watch a video like twice when I edit, and then that's it. It's done. Get rid of it. You're gone. You're free. It's time to grow up. But yeah, it's been really fun this year.
Good. Awesome. It's been a good year, I think. And what have we done together this year? We went to the My Favorite Murder live.
We did live.
Recently, that was good.
We did Detective Day.
Detective Day, yeah. We hiked with huskies.
We did some regular, we did a lot of brunching, which we tend to do a lot of brunching in general together. And a couple nights. Do you know what? I think because, Hannah, you were in the throes of the final, those few months, you were kind of like, okay, I can't really do anything.
I was like a hermit. I just didn't come out of my pit.
No. So the few
Which is
months,
funny because I was like, when I finish my degree, I'm not going to like stay in so much. I'm just going to like get outside the house. And now I'm literally sitting in a blanket fort.
You're in an actual tent.
an actual tent made of blankets. So I'm going to see some daylight. Look at me now.
We also had quite a few podcast meetings because I think because we launched sort of August, September-y time, but leading up to that, I think we had a lot. I mean, we were practicing episodes and we just never released them. Yeah. So we must have like a handful of ones just like saved somewhere on my computer of us just like practicing, and then we'd meet up for brunch or coffee and we'd have notes and things and be like, okay, well, what are you guys thinking about logos and how do you want to set up this stuff? And there's a lot of that. That took a long time.
That was a lot, yeah. I
remember
when we were discussing logos and we were like sketching things in a coffee shop. Do you remember? And
Yes.
I had this really terrible hand-drawn picture, which I'll never publish because I've got GCSE in art, but that's like enough. But yeah, no, they were really fun.
The best part was, let's tell that story. So we were sitting in this coffee shop, and the funny thing is we were trying to think of a name for our podcast, like what do we call ourselves or whatever. And the funny thing was that I'd mentioned, because I had another friend who always referred to you two, because obviously the three of us met through a true crime podcast, and we've done a few things like going to see My Favorite Murder live in Amsterdam, and we went to the True Crime Museum and stuff like that.
And also just sitting around, hanging out, talking about really gruesome shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I had mentioned, I think I'd said something like how my friend always says, oh, those are your like murder friends or something to that thing. And we were at the same time in the middle of this little Kentish coffee shop. We shouted out, murder friends!
Yeah, James would always be like, oh, you're going to go for coffee with your murder friends? I was like, yeah, see you later, bye.
Yeah,
and it's just the name
that
kind of
became
stuck.
the title.
Yeah.
And then literally it's just like common, murder friend. Yeah, I'm with the murder friends.
I don't think we've ever talked about that before, have we?
No, we haven't, actually. No. How funny. That's what my
That's
husband
our
calls
origin
us as well.
of our name.
I know, there we go. Yeah, you're right. So we spent quite a lot of time. I forgot about that because I'm like, we saw each other a lot, but I was like, what did we actually do? Oh, yeah, we started a podcast.
Yeah. So let's start off the 2019 year in review with, I think, where we've spent the most time, which is podcasts. I don't know about you guys. I mean, we talk about podcasts like on a weekly basis, basically, of what we've listened to for a whole year is a lot.
All right. So I think my favorite for the year, which I think probably you guys it's going to be up there for you, is The Ballad of Billy Balls. I think that's been my favorite podcast of the entire year. Probably one of my definite favorite ever. I really enjoyed the story. We spoke about this in our first episode that we aired. What are we on TV? Recorded?
We are now.
Anyway. And it is written and narrated and produced by Io Tillett-Wright with Crimetown Presents. And it sort of goes through the mystery, sort of what they thought was a mysterious like police shooting of Billy Balls, and he was a musician. And if you haven't listened to it, it's my number one recommendation, and I think you should definitely binge it all. It's really good. Because I don't want to give too many spoilers away, but it's definitely the highlight of my year. And I also actually read her book after listening to it called Darling Days, which I totally recommend. It kind of is just like an expansion, I think, of the podcast, really. What about you guys? Like, Billy Balls, yeah?
I think with Billy Balls, it was so unique in that, yes, there is a murder mystery sort of at the very basis of it, but it's so much more of like a family drama. And the traumas that you pick up from your parents and carry on with you, whether you're even like aware that you're carrying that kind of baggage and stuff. And so when I went into it, at first I thought, I don't know, like I don't really get it. It's not a story like a murder mystery that I'm interested into. And then all of a sudden it just sort of like catches you off guard and you're just like, oh shit, like this is so much more than that, than just a regular story that we listen to.
Agreed. What about you guys? What are some of your favorites?
I think for me personally, I'm going to say it. Guess what? The Thing About Pam.
Yeah.
The Thing About Pam from Dateline NBC. I think that is sort of like your classic murder mystery type story, although it's crazy as fuck. And I had no idea that it was going to play out the way that it did, but it's still like that classic sort of mystery trials and like, yeah, it's very well told. We talk about it, well, rather, I rant about it in a previous episode. And I thought it was so good. And it's one of those ones, like I said earlier, we've listened to so many podcasts this year, and so many of them kind of just like fade into the dark. And I can't even really tell you the titles of some of them, but The Thing About Pam and The Ballad of Billy Balls really stand out for me.
Yeah,
for
definitely.
sure.
The thing about Pam, even though Keith Morrison's voice creeps me out, sorry, the first however many episodes, it was just like a really good true crime story, and then the ending is just so explosive. It made it like doubled how great it was, and it was already great, and it just like bumped it up a level because the story is just so bananas.
It is. It's got it all, really. Just when you think, okay, the story is...
Just when you think you've got it figured out.
Yeah, you don't. You don't. It just gets a bit, like, more bonkers. So that's definitely... We definitely loved that one, didn't we?
I thought it was
that was one of the best. That was really good. I hope they continue to bring out some more podcasts. And I hope he narrates and continues to creep out Hannah.
You're just going to make me listen to them, aren't you? That's
exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. We must listen to them all.
All of them.
Yeah. Going from one weird narrator to another, I think one of the better ones I've listened to this year was The Last Days of August.
Yes, it's on my list as well.
Yeah. So it's John Ronson. He's written books like The Psychopath Test. I'm actually got one on Audible at the moment called Lost, where it's just a series of like stories. It's really interesting. And it follows on from the podcast The Butterfly Effect, where it talks about the impacts of the porn industry on people. And The Last Days of August focuses on a woman who was featured in that who committed suicide. And it basically follows like her last days. And it was so well produced and so sort of empathetic towards quite a scary world. What could be perceived as quite a scary and different world. It made it like more human. It was really interesting.
Absolutely. He's very similar to, what is his name? Louis Theroux. He has a way of like disarming people to where they like, because he's like quite unsuspecting and it's his voice and his manner and everything. He like people talk to him, and it was really interesting. It followed it was August Ames, I think I believe her name was, and it talked to her ex-husband or husband or late
widow.
Thank you. Sorry. her brother. It talked to other people in the industry, and there was a lot. It was in a horrible way, but it was a fascinating story. I say that without being like trying to be too, because obviously these are real people's lives.
Yeah, there was like speculation. At one point, there was speculation that she didn't actually kill herself, but she was murdered, and it was kind of like, everyone was like guessing like this way or that way. And John Ronson sort of comes in and just bulldozes it completely, and he's saying like this isn't a murder story, like this is a tragic suicide. So it was the way he dealt with that aspect. It was really, really clever. The way that he was just like, that's wrong. This is right. These are the facts. So I really appreciated that because a lot of people would have been like, oh, but is it a murder? And it's just like, he just didn't bother with that. He was just like, no. I really thought The Last Days of August was great.
I agree. That was a really good one. I also, do you know what? It didn't have like the most perfect ending or anything, but I did enjoy, Wondery has the one Over My Dead Body. And they have seasons. And the first one was Dan Markel, I think, was about his murder. And the second one is the one that was out more recently, Joe Exotic. And that story was, I thought that story was pretty bonkers too. That was a bit insane. It follows Joe Exotic, who has a zoo, and I think he breeds big cats, tigers, things like that, or he's kind of like a zookeeper, and his fight with another one called Carol Baskin. And did you guys listen to it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was pretty nutty. I just thought the story was kind of, some of the stuff I didn't see coming. Actually, there was, in fact, no murder, was there, in the end?
No, I think he was like trying to take a hit out on her or that sort of thing. It was just when you thought it couldn't get weirder, it got weirder.
Exactly. It was just one of those stories, kind of similar to that, the thing about Pam. You're like, he did what?
Yeah.
That guy was he was interesting to, like, hear about.
It's funny, when I was listening to Joe Exotica, I always say Joe Exotica. I don't know why. I'm so sorry. Joe Exotic. I don't know where that comes from. Anyway, I remember in the summer, I was trying to get back into running. And so I tried to go every day. And that was actually the podcast that I was listening to, because it was like a nice length for like the route that I wanted to do and whatever. And I finished the podcast, and for some reason I was on YouTube or something, and I was doing like a deep dive, don't judge, and this video came up, and it was some sort of like animal related thing or whatever, and it was like, look at this cute little dachshund that plays with a tiger or a lion or whatever, and they're like, oh, isn't this cute? And then Joe Exotic is in the background, and it's his like wildlife foundation, quote unquote. And I just finished the podcast, and I was like, oh my God, I know that man. This is not a good video. And everybody's like, isn't this cute?
Oh, no.
Like, there's a little dog and a lion. And I was like, this man is not okay. Like, this video is not okay. But Joe has such a very distinctive image when you see him. And then there's and nobody was commenting on the fact, like, this guy's like a dangerous bad guy.
He's in jail.
This video is so cute. I'm just like, oh my God. Listen to the podcast. Get educated. Is there any other podcasts that stand out to you guys this year? Or is that kind of like the big dogs?
We did like Missing and Murdered, Finding Cleo, and the Cat Lady.
Yeah, they're fine.
But they were like, they're okay.
They're fine.
Yeah.
They're okay. Yeah, I think we kind of covered our top favorites, yeah? All right, so the next one, I don't know, we've got to move over into the sort of documentaries, because obviously the true crime documentaries are huge now. Yes. I think with a few years ago with Making a Murderer, they've now like exploded.
Yeah, so, Netflix is just like cooking shows, crime shows. That's all it is now. Weird comedy specials. Yeah.
No, I think you nailed it. You nailed Netflix. So I think the first one that I have to talk about. So it was just one evening, and I was, it was popular on Netflix. It was ranking pretty high, and I was like, so I clicked on it. Started watching this documentary, and then I immediately stopped and bullied you both into watching it because I couldn't unsee it. And it was called Abducted in Plain Sight. And first of all, if you haven't heard of this documentary and you're into true crime, then you must be living under a rock because my goodness. It is about a woman, more about when she was younger, Jan Broberg, and she's abducted from her small community in Idaho by a neighbor. But that's not really the story. The story is probably
that's not a full synopsis of
that's really
every
not
batshit thing that happened in that documentary.
Yeah. I had to take breaks watching it. I had to take breaks because it was so insane. Basically, should I give spoilers?
Yeah, I mean, if you haven't watched it by now.
I think we should, yeah. We should I know the spoiler you're thinking of, and I think that one deserves to be said.
Okay.
Sorry.
Thank you, Hannah, for the hand motion, of which we can't see again.
I know. If you could only see Hannah's hand motions right now. So the story goes on, and Jan is basically taken by their family friend / neighbor. The parents don't really report her missing. It's very strange, and I can't even imagine what this guy was like, but he must have been incredibly charismatic because the mother ended up having an affair with him after he eventually brought her daughter back after kidnapping her. Story doesn't end there, guys. We then find out that actually the father also had a bit of a fling with the neighbor as well after he'd already kidnapped the daughter. And then she gets kidnapped again. Does that really like sum it all up, basically?
I just don't feel like the second kidnapping in bunny ears was really a kidnapping, because the mother actually put her on a plane, didn't she?
Yeah.
And sent her to him, and it was so bizarre.
Yeah, it was like this guy was so charismatic that I think also because he had like sexual affairs with both parents, there's a lot of shame. This is like a shame show. And so you just like, okay, well, let's just do what he says, because I'm so embarrassed that if anybody found out about what's going on, I don't really know what to do. So they seem like they're happy together. He's extremely older than my young daughter, but that's okay because, whatever. So strange.
Yeah, I don't even know what to say. But also I'm going to dig it out for social media. I need to find Hannah's screenshot of it's the best thing ever, and it should have been its own
was it
meme.
of the father?
The father,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Hannah's
Thank you for the face that nobody can see.
Nobody can see.
I'm really, really good at podcasts. I don't know if you've noticed.
Super
really good at hand movements and facial expressions. That was more a reference point for us.
Yes.
For the social media.
I will post it. I'm going to dig it out and find it. But basically, that was completely bonkers. And I'm sorry because I made... The funny thing was I was getting like texts when you guys finally watched it, like, what the hell is this? What did you make me watch?
Well, you were like, you'd previously bullied us. And I use that in like a loving, friendly way. You'd previously bullied us about watching, what was it? Not Murder Mountain, the one before that. Innocent Man?
Yeah.
And you were like, you have to watch it. It's fantastic. And I really didn't get on with Innocent Man that well. And then when this one came out, I was like, here, Anna goes again.
I had one. Okay, I'm allowed one strike.
And then I was just like, all right, fine. Yeah, I'll sit down and watch it. I just remember watching it and then texting you like, this is the best thing I've ever watched. It's so bananas. And then I also had to stop and take breaks because it was so much information and it was delivered so well that I had to like stop it. So I'd stop at one point and like sit down with a glass of water and like think about my life choices at that point. Like it led me to, and I was just like, right, I'm going back in for the second part. It was great. It was so good. Apparently they're doing another one, aren't they?
On the same story?
Yeah. I was like, well, what the fuck did you leave out? Like there's more?
What was so like surprising about that one is they would deliver these bombshell bits of information almost casually, like when the father reveals that him and this man had a relationship, and he just kind of like, it comes out, and I'm pausing it and I'm just like, did that just happen?
What?
Did he just say what? I think he just said, like, what? Is this real?
Yeah.
I know the father's passed away, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, rest in peace, father.
I can't believe, I mean, brave, kudos to him for standing up, and he probably didn't realize it was going to be distributed on Netflix and like literally the entire world was going to see it, but okay. Sorry.
I remember telling everyone about it. I was just like, people at work, I was like, you've got to watch it. And this girl at work, she was like, oh, I don't really want to watch it. And I was like, no, you don't understand. You have to watch it. So I like full Anna'd her into watching it. And then she was texting me while she was watching it. And I was just like, Anna would be so proud of me right now.
I was. Thank you. Excellent. Well, obviously, I think that was our top one of the year. But do you guys have any more that you particularly really liked?
I think the one that stands out, A, because it was interesting, and also because we just talked about it and just watched it, was The Devil Next Door. That's a really tough one. That's not for everybody. I know my parents actually started watching it, and my mom couldn't keep watching it. She said it was too much for her, so my dad kept watching and then texted me all his opinions afterwards.
Oh, that's really sweet.
Yeah, I mean, bonding over, Ivan the Terrible. So that's a bit weird.
Oh, yeah.
Continents brought together by war crimes.
It's very well done. It's very interesting. We talk about it in a previous episode. It's a more recent story, but I still think it was one of the better ones. At least one of the ones that like sticks out in my mind still from this year.
I fell asleep, so
Oh my god.
Are you going to power through with
I think
it?
you.
Just cut
I
that
swear, you
out.
guys innocent manned me back with the devil wear.
You just about to say The Devil Wears Prada.
Oh my god.
Sorry, that's not the name of it.
That wasn't funny. Maybe we should probably cut that out.
I know.
Sorry.
Anyway. Anyway,
It's been a long day.
it's been a long
It's been so
day.
hard.
Anyway,
I can't really think of any other documentaries. I know there was that Ted Bundy one,
oh, yeah.
Ugh.
which was
Did you guys end up watching that? Because I watched it.
we watched it. I watched it, and I was just like,
I watched it. I don't want to give him
I'm
any
so
more
done.
airtime.
Yeah,
Yeah, both the documentary and his disgusting movie were actually equally terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, Alana, you said you watched the movie, and then I was just like, after your scathing review of it, I was like, you know what? I'm not even going to bother.
Yeah, I
I don't
saved
either.
all of you
No.
from watching that garbage.
Do you know what? I have two that I don't think either of you watched. I tried to bully you into watching them. Didn't
We're
work.
wise to you now.
Yeah. So the first one was Murder Round. I actually think it might have come out in like December of last year, so maybe it doesn't count. That was fantastic. Anybody out there wants to give it a shot? Not my friends
Why
don't.
you
They
just
don't
go
want to
and,
give it
like,
a shot.
start
But
a podcast with them, Anna. It's fine.
I
Don't
know.
worry about
Maybe
it.
I will. And the other one, okay, guys, it's called Jailbirds, and it's on Netflix, and it's about the Sacramento County Jail and about the females in there, and some of the males, and how they talk through the toilets, and it's almost. And I don't like reality television, but it's so good. It's so like gossipy and ridiculous, and it's honestly, it's a very easy watch, but it's very like just fascinating. There's a lot of face tattoos, so.
Set the scene.
Yeah, it's good though. I just found it. That was good fun. So, what about books?
I read a great book recently. It's fiction. It's not non-fiction. Wow.
There you go.
Described that so well, didn't I?
That's how you sell. That's how you say
That's how
that.
I sell books. I'm so good
It's
at
fiction,
it. That's
it's
why
not
I'm not a
non-fiction.
salesman in any way. It's called My Sister the Serial Killer. It's by Okinyan Braithwaite, and it has a story about family and love and a sister who just won't stop killing her boyfriends. And then her sister helps clean up after she murders her boyfriends. Then one of them starts dating. I should probably give you their names. It's Ayula, who murders her boyfriends, and then Corridy, who helps clean up. And Ayula starts dating one of Corridy's work colleagues, a doctor. She works in a hospital where she's a nurse. And it's short and it's funny in places, and it really shows you like family dynamic. It's based at a hospital and an area in Africa. It's so good. And it's just like a really good short novel to read.
Oh, I got it.
Even if you're not
I remember
like
you
that
mentioned
into
it
like
before.
yeah, it's like while I was studying, I just didn't read much at all because I didn't have time. And this was
Yeah.
like the perfect one to like get you back into reading. It's really great. I have a copy if either of you want to borrow it.
And so to clarify,
Awesome.
it's fiction, not
It's
nonfiction.
fiction. It's fiction.
It's fiction, not non-fiction.
non-fic-
Okay, noted.
Every time I
No.
review a book now, I'm going to say that. It's non-fiction, not fiction. Or the other way
Yeah.
around.
Gotcha.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think I already mentioned probably my favorite book this year, which was Darling Days, which I spoke about already. The follow-on from The Ballad of Billy Balls, that was good. I didn't listen to that many true crimey stuff. Or read that many true crime things this year. I think most of my stuff was like wankery self-help stuff. Like just be my best self, like improvement.
Yay!
Yeah, and I just admitted that to everyone, but that's okay. Yeah, what about you, Alana? Did you read anything particularly?
I think reading is one of the only sections that I break away from true crime. Like in terms of like podcasts, I almost exclusively only listen to true crime. But I think with books, I've been trying to sort of branch out a little bit. I mean, I still love a thriller, still love a mystery. Yes, please, amen, sign me up. I think this year, though, my favorite book, and probably one of my favorite books of all time, I finally read The Goldfinch, which I've been meaning to read for a million years, but it's so goddamn long that I was always like, oh, maybe another time. So I finally read that. and like 1,000 pages later, loved it. Originally, I was trying to get it done so I could go see the movie because the movie came out like summertime, recently. I guess. But I heard the movie was absolutely dog shit, so didn't see the movie. Loved the book. Definitely would recommend it. I had read her Donna Tartt's previous or after one. I can't remember which order. The Secret History.
Yeah, that was before. That is my all-time favourite book, The Secret History.
Yeah, I can absolutely
which
see
has
why.
got death in it, if you're into that. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, both of them do, actually. They're both, like, pretty dark.
I think a lot of her writing is. She did one called, I think, The Little Friend as well, which is great. Really, really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I loved The Secret History. Kept meaning to read The Goldfinch, but yeah, it's like 1,000 pages, so it's a bit of a hefty one. But if anyone's interested in like looking for a new book, it is fiction, not nonfiction.
Oh, good.
Okay, good.
Thanks for clarifying that.
Okay, good.
It's so good.
I'm glad. Okay, good. We got that cleared up. How about let's move on to just TV shows. Any TV shows that you watched this year that you liked or that you continued watching or... And it can be trash. It's fine because most of mine are... Actually, no, mine are... They're good. Do you know what I really like? Did you guys watch You?
No. I know you kept trying to get us to watch
I also
it.
bullied everyone into trying to watch You. And it was... Okay, people out there. Watch it. It's me bullying you all into watching
She needs someone to bully. She's going to bully you guys.
Yeah.
We're off the hook now.
Yeah. Because you just don't listen to me anymore, so it's fine. I loved You on Netflix. Well, I think it was on a different channel in the States or in probably Canada, but they did put it on Netflix UK. And then also Dead to Me, which was on Netflix with Christina Applegate. That was really good, surprisingly good. It was more of a comedy kind of thing, but that was really fun to watch. Can I tell you, first of all, I'm going to tell you what was not a good thing to watch this year. Ooh. The freaking final season of Game of Thrones. I'm still mad about it.
I have a lot of feelings about that.
I heard that they were potentially redoing the final season.
They better fucking do. Or else me and Anna are going to go out there.
Yeah, like actually reshoot and re-script the whole thing.
It was
the mistake I think the mistake they made with Game of Thrones, and I'm going to be that person. I read the books, and the books are fantastic. But then the rate at which George R.R. Martin writes books is slower than a snail. So the TV show overtook the books very quickly and then ended. And I know that he said, I'm going to write a different ending, but hasn't actually finished writing the books yet. And I'm
He's pretty old.
I'm like, first off,
hurry
the fuck up. But I think that's where the problem came in that he is a great storyteller, a fantastic writer, but HBO overtook the books and turned it trash.
Well, they rushed it. It was like the series, if you watched it, I mean, it was drawn out all of these years and years. And suddenly, like, the last season could have been like 3 of them. I don't know. It was just all rushed. It was just garbage. I'm not happy.
Well, it's like, I don't know, was it the producers or the writers or whatever, they had been approved to do the next Star Wars, and so they were trying to rush up, tie up Game of Thrones, put a nice bow, fucking get it out the door, so they could then go do Star Wars, and then now they're not doing Star Wars because they quote-unquote quit, but also, I think they were fired. So
you made a big mistake, buddy.
Yeah. You should have stuck with Game of Thrones. It's really annoying.
It was terrible.
It was so bad. And I had like Game of Thrones pajamas. I have mugs. I was like super fan, and now I refuse to wear any of it. I had socks. I had Game of Thrones socks. It was just so disappointing.
Throw them in the fire. Throw them in the fire.
In the dragon fire. It was just poor. And I think it's when you've watched something for like so many years and then it ends like that. It's like, thanks a fucking bunch. I've dedicated time to this. You know.
Yeah.
I paid for this on Sky. Thank you.
Yeah. Terrible. So what did you guys watch anything good this year it doesn't have to necessarily be true crime, because I kind of took a turn there because I felt like I needed to rant publicly about Game of Thrones because it just needed to be out there.
Yeah, get it out. It's 2019. Get it out. We'll go into 2020 with none of this Game of Thrones feelings.
We need like a fresh decade. Carrying on from things that are about death but not actually about murder, We binge watched The Good Place, which is really good. It's on Netflix. Yeah, no, Netflix.
Netflix UK.
And it's just brilliant. It's just funny, and it's one of those like short little 20-25 minute things you can just stick on while you're eating dinner, or it's nice to have like a palate cleanser of television.
Yeah,
for that. It's really, really funny.
God, I can't think of a single thing I've watched this year. Oh, I did. Okay, on actual true crime, or not true crime, but like mystery, whatever. I really liked the criminal series that they were doing. I only watched the UK version. I think there was like 3 or 4 episodes. Where they're in the interrogation room and the whole episode revolves around like getting the right information and stuff. I thought that was cool. I made my parents watch it because I make them watch a lot of true crime, and my dad also texted me his opinions. He thought it was boring, but I thought it was really interesting how they have a whole show set in one location. I find like that kind of setup is really cool. But I know on Netflix UK, you could also get the Spain one. They had a France one. I didn't watch those ones, but the UK one was interesting.
Is that the one with David Tennant in it? The first episode.
Yeah, the first episode.
I watched that first episode. Cool. It was brilliant. Really, really good.
It was good. It was so interesting. It was different, wasn't it? It was different. It was good. Do you know what else I watch? I'm really excited because I think in like 2 days the 3rd season comes out. It's The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, which couldn't be any further from everything else. But you know when you need like a palate cleanser? I just need something nice and wholesome.
I think that's really important when you do like consume a lot of like really heavy material.
Yeah.
Like because we do. Jesus Christ, we do.
Oh my God,
so much.
Yeah, so that's one of my like I only discovered it this year, and I watched both seasons, and I absolutely loved it. And it's
on Amazon.
It's on Amazon. It's really good, and I forget her name. She was in the main actress was in that what was the Kevin Spacey Netflix political thing?
House of Cards.
House of Cards. Yes, she was in that, and she was good. Obviously, a much more serious role, but yeah, it's brilliant. So if you ever need something, then just take a break. That was a fun one. And obviously, guys, I can't believe we haven't even spoken about it. Mindhunter.
Oh, shit.
Oh, my God. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Elena.
Mindhunter rules my life. I did see, I don't know if we talked about it together about how the 3rd season is delayed because David Fincher is doing a new movie. Did we talk about that?
We didn't. I think we exchanged, or we tend to tag each other a lot on Facebook stuff. Or throw into the group chat, and it's like
a lot of it's about dog and cat stuff, though, so it's great.
I would say 98% of it is dogs or cats, and the other 2% is related to murder.
So, I mean, I was kind of bummed out, but I'm really excited that David Fincher is doing the 3rd season. Like, I'm happy to wait. David, if you're listening, I'm happy to wait. Just please come back at some point.
Definitely.
It was good. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to see where they go with it.
Yeah, I was really worried after the first season was obviously fantastic, and I was really worried that the 2nd season just wasn't going to be great, but they really pulled it out the bag, really did a good job.
I think that's all we've got for today. That was our best of 2019. I also, with a small rant about the worst thing. Please email us, murderfriendspod@gmail.com. What were you in the nativity? Let us know. Was the Independence predictions correct or not? What was your favorite things of 2019? Anything you can recommend to us, we are ready to listen. And as always, visit our website, murderfriends.com. We always write a little bit more about our episodes, and you can always find our sources. Follow us on Instagram, murderfriendspod, and on Twitter at murderfriendspd. Thanks for listening. Talk to you next time. Bye.